Good morning, it's Mr. Ambrosio. I'm going to help you with getting your Johnny 5 set up in the classroom. So just going over the main parts of the Johnny 5. The first part here you'll see is the monitor. The brand is a ViewSonic monitor. It's important to know the brand just when we're setting up the Teams call later, because that's what they show up on the call. So this is the ViewSonic monitor here. Next we have the Poly speaker and camera. So you'll see it's a sound bar with a widescreen camera, that little circle in the middle built in. And then the last piece of the Johnny 5 is just this rack at the bottom with our laptop plugged in with an HDMI cord as well as a USB cord, which we'll talk about in a minute. So the basic classroom setup, there's main two pieces. There's the bot, getting set up, and the classroom computer. So on the bot, you'll be joining a Teams call and pinning the teacher's face to the monitor in order to have the teacher's face appear at all times up on the Johnny 5 monitor. You will want to leave the audio and video on the laptop that's connected to the Johnny 5. If the teacher wants to hide their face, they can turn off their video to do so, but you want to leave the audio and video on the call all day. Once you're in that Teams call, you just want to make sure that your audio is played through the Poly soundbar and the video is coming through the wide angle video Poly camera. It's pretty easy to tell, whether your camera's coming through the laptop like a normal view versus once it goes through the Poly camera, you'll see it's a nice wide angle, and it's a smart camera, so it will move when it detects motion and or sound. So that's a setup for the bot. And then on the classroom computer or the teacher computer, you're also going to join that same Teams call, but you're going to turn off your audio and video. The reason you're joining from the second device is so that when the teacher shares their screen, it can be shown on the teacher computer, which is then hooked up to the projector. So the teacher can be seen by the students on the Johnny 5, and then any content that they want to review can be shown on the projector by sharing their screen. So that's the basic setup of the classroom and joining that Teams call from the two different devices. So step one, setting up the bot, is to plug it in. There's just one main plug to plug in that's coming from the bot. After you plug it in, you want to make sure that your power strip has power. This little red light down here will be illuminated. So you want to check that. Once you do plug it in, you'll notice a light that travels from left to right across the Polycom. It just means it's searching for an input if your computer's not already your laptop's not already hooked up. But once you do plug it in, you should see some sort of light going across here above the camera. And just while we're here, I just want to mention these little holes, okay, above the camera. They are speakers. They're microphones to pick up the audio in the classroom. There's also some on either side of this bar as well. So once you see that your speaker and sound bar are on, you just want to turn on the monitor, which is, if you're looking at the back side of the monitor, it's in the lower left-hand corner, and it's got that power icon. If I turn myself off here for a minute, I just want to show what you'll see when you turn on the monitor. You should get this ViewSonic icon, which will come up for a couple seconds, and then it will go back to black until you have a laptop or some other display connected. So you just want to make sure that the sound bar and camera and the monitor have all turned on okay. If they don't, and some wires do get a little wiggly, when viewing from the back, just check your sound bar. There's a speaker power cord on the left-hand side here. And then on the right-hand side, there's also a second plug for the sound bar. And then with the monitor, you have the HDMI cord, which gives you the audio and video from the laptop. And then you also have the power cord on the right side of the monitor. So this is, again, on the right side, your power cord to the monitor, and then on the left side of the monitor, you have that HDMI input. If for some reason you don't have power or something seems not to be working, do check those 4 different connections just to make sure they're working. in addition to the power strip and everything that's connected on the back side of the Johnny 5. Next, what you want to do is connect your laptop to the bot. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a few things. First, you just want to make sure that you have a laptop charger so it doesn't die. So you want to plug in that laptop charge cord into the surge protector as well as the computer. In addition to your normal power cord for the laptop, you're going to be making two other connections. This is an HDMI port. This is what it looks like, and it will be plugged in here to the matching input, as well as the USB cord here will be plugged in right next to it. And on these computers that we're going to have on the bots, this is your power outlet. Those are all on the left-hand side of the computer. As you can see here, those two are now connected. That's what it should look like. Now that we've talked about connecting the bot, we're going to talk about how to connect with the teacher using Teams. This will need to be started by an administrator who has access to the remote teaching team in Teams. In the remote teaching team, you'll see here that there's 3 channels for up to 3 teachers to use 3 different bots. So administrator would start by going into channel 1 and then using the Meet Now feature, which can be found up in the upper right hand corner in any channel, and they're going to hit Meet Now. Once you hit Meet Now, you want to choose a name for your room. In this case, I chose the teacher's last name, and then I also turned off my audio and turned down the volume as well, because I'm on my teacher computer, and on my teacher computer I want the video and audio both turned off. When you connect on the laptop, you're going to leave the audio and video both turned on. Once you enter the Meet Now meeting and you've given it a name, you can invite another participant to join the meeting. This is the participant that's going to be in the classroom with the teacher to connect and manage them on both screens. In this case, I just chose to use a teacher as an example, started to type in their last name, and they came up as an option to invite them to the meeting. Once the participant has joined the meeting, you can click on the ... next to their name to see more options, and then you will need to make that person a presenter, the teacher from home, so that they can share their screen.